Okay, so this is going to be our team meeting, and our goal is actually to be able to have a team meeting with you guys one time a month so we can, work together to help your businesses be as successful as possible. Don't get me wrong, these are not replacement of the Monday night call by any means, but ultimately they are a way to kind of support you when you get that Monday night call information so we can kind of accentuate and build upon those types of experiences. So today we're actually going to cover some really important details that a couple of you have asked for and I think are really pertinent to the process that we're kind of have entered in over the spring and now into the summer and ultimately now into the fall. So these are some of the topics that you guys wanted to hear about, and we're excited to be able to share those with you. So we're just going to kind of revisit a couple of simple things like the new 7 steps, the Monday night call document. We're going to go over some new host coaching tips, some table tips, Facebook, Host My Party, and boards. And we're going to get all this covered in hopefully by 8:30, not too much longer after that. We're also going to give you a couple of action items, and one of them being how to build your fall schedule, because this is really the time to ultimately go for it, because the fall is naturally the time where orders are higher. People are super interested in hosting for their own, kitchens, or to add gifts to, their holiday shopping ideas, things like that. So we are right in the wheelhouse of what people are looking for. And of course, with all of the new products that are introduced, and of course the fall baking season and all that type of thing, we're just kind of like in the right place at the right time. So if there's any point in time that you're like, okay, I'm ready to go for it, it is now. So we're going to cover some really productive fall booking ideas that have worked for both Susan and I and have been shared on the Monday night call. And then a few others we're going to add that have just personally worked for us as well. So we're also going to do some team recognition because you guys deserve it. But we're going to go ahead and jump right in to talk about the Monday night call. And what Susan's going to do, keep an eye on the chat, because Susan is going to put some information in the chat as we go along. The first thing that she's going to put in there is the Monday night call. The first thing she's going to put in there is the new 7 steps. And you guys totally can go through that on your own. So we're not really going to take a whole lot of time to cover that, but we want you to make sure that you know where that link is. It's ultimately something that you're going to use, obviously, a lot for your business, especially if you're just starting or maybe if you're restarting. So make sure that you have the 7 steps bookmark on your computer and then also saved somewhere. So like when I was first beginning, I did 2 things with the 7 steps because it is a massive document. So I'm a paper person. And so kind of adjusting to the non-paper world was a little challenging for me. So I kind of did a 2-fold thing. I took the 7 steps, and every time I went through a step, I would print off as much information as I could so I could literally like take it, digest it, and make it make sense to me. Some people don't need that type of look, or some people just want digital, and that's okay too. But the best way to tackle the 7 steps is just that, one step at a time. And especially if you're restarting your business, I would just go straight back to the beginning and then move forward from that point, especially if you're kind of feeling like, oh, I don't know what step we're doing now because of all of the changes. And there has been some pretty significant changes, but ultimately there's still a lot of things that have stayed the same. So we want to make sure that you have the 7 steps. And hey, if you have any background noise, if you don't mind just clicking mute, that will be super helpful. So when others listen to the call, they can hear us clearly. So the 7 steps, Susan's going to drop that into the chat. And then the next document that we want to make sure that you guys have a hold of is the Monday night call document. And the Monday night call is ever changing, meaning that every single week there is something new to help you with your business. And I'll be honest with you, like 9 o'clock Eastern time is super late for me. Hence the reason this call will be over by 8:30. I get up around 5:45 every morning, and thinking that I got to stay up till 10 is mind-boggling. So most often I don't even listen to the Monday night call until the next day. Now, I'm not really advising you to do that, because I will tell you it takes a very serious commitment to go back and listen to a recording but I know it's vital for my personal business, and I know it's vital for my team. So it's just part of what I do. So every Tuesday or Wednesday, I am listening to the Monday Night Call on the way to here or there. But the best thing to do is to try to listen to it live. And I wasn't on the last call. So Susan, you could chime in. I know at one point we were doing 30-minute Monday night calls. Did they go back to an hour, Susan?
No, so what they did, and this is really fantastic because I love it when they were doing these on occasion, but they've decided to do a 30-minute call. And then instead of you having another 30 minutes of the call, they want you to stay on, and it's 30 minutes of work time.
Mm.
So they got some music playing. You can ask questions if you need to. But everybody is just getting some things done. And I'll tell you, it's really helpful when you're kind of working along, you know, someone else is doing it. And then you see someone gets a booking and you're like, dang it, I gotta send some more messages. It's really I enjoy it. So
Good, good.
I'm excited they're doing that.
That's good to know. And that's even more important reason to attend live, because now you already have that 30 minutes carved out, and ultimately it's saved, you know, so you can do that. So that's good to know. I love the 30-minute aspect because I feel like you really get a lot of pertinent information versus some fluff. And so that's perfect and to the point. And then of course that bonus 30 minutes that you're kind of giving yourself back is super helpful as well. So thanks for sharing that. So in the sense of host coaching, so with this new host coaching that is in process, again, it's pretty much the same, but there are some differences, like on the start of when we host coach and what we do on each day. So this is where, if you're a paper person, I would take the host coaching part of, or excuse me, let me back up and say the Monday Night Call doc. She's going to put that into the chat. So that way you guys can have that, and make sure you bookmark that, because every Monday, every Tuesday morning, I go in and I'm like, okay, what were the booking tips? What do I need to, you know, share with my team? What do I need to do for myself? So you may even want to put that as a reminder on your phone or your calendar, check on the Monday Night Call resource document. So she's going to put that in there for us. Okay, back up to the 7 steps with host coaching. So I am a paper person. So I literally took the host coaching, printed it all out, highlighted it, made notes. That was like one sensory for me. And then the other part of it was, okay, now I need to take this information and implement it the way it's going to make sense to Lorraine. So you might just want to take everything that she has put out there for us verbatim, and that's okay. That's really what the intention is. Or you can kind of put your flair on it and put your ideal on it. I always tell my kids and my boyfriend, whenever I make a recipe, I'm going to make it to the T the first time, and then it's going to be Lorraine the second time. So that's kind of how I look at host coaching. And let me just tell you, it's really hard. I talk with my hands, and I can only talk with one hand, and I'm realizing it's feeling so very weird. So I apologize. But because I am a paper person, and then I'm also like a written person that has to also see it, I got to like see the map of like where I'm supposed to start, what I'm supposed to do on this day. And a couple of you actually messaged me and said, Lorraine, if I could just see the whole process in a one snapshot, that literally would save kind of how I'm thinking of it, because there are a lot of moving parts. And if you don't know what's moving on Monday versus Friday, it can be confusing. So that's where this next image comes into play. And this is my timetable. It's wrapped around the 7 steps host coaching. It might be off by a day or two for certain things. And we are really heavily focusing on table, where the 7 steps are more kind of sprinkling table in. But if you guys have noticed, and Susan and I were talking about this today, and she's going to cover more of this, when you're on Facebook these days, it's driving me berserk as to how many just random, ridiculous ads I get. Like I got an ad yesterday for Robert something School of Arts in Chicago. And I'm thinking, the only thing that can relate to me there is Chicago, because I was there in the summer. Why do I need this? But Facebook is prioritizing these ads because people are paying money for them, and they're deprioritizing our parties. And that's why we are not seeing as much success as we used to have on Facebook. So thankfully, Susan, our champion of table, is helping us navigate through this. And when I'm saying champion, I'm saying her sales are soaring thousands of dollars above every other director on our team. So she's definitely got something to share, and she's going to do that in just a bit. And we're going to kind of continue to sprinkle this information around the Monday night calls as well, because we see the value in table now that we are getting a good handle on how to do it. So we're going to give you a little bit of information this month, and then we're going to go a little bit more heavy into it next month. So this is kind of what it looks like with the 7 Steps Host Coaching and with table and Facebook combined. And then Susan's going to go into a little bit more detail here in just a moment. So basically, you want to think about parties starting on Mondays. So I know we used to do starting on Friday, but Stacy recommended we do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday party. So if you kind of look in this section here, these are our party days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you think about a party starting on September 23rd, which would be a Monday, and then back yourself up 2 weeks. So sometimes you don't have those 2 weeks. Like I just booked a party today that's going to start on the 23rd. So I've got a lot of things I got to do with her real quick. So there are some things I can kind of overlook. I don't need to confirm her party because her party is coming up tomorrow to start inviting. So that's kind of how you look at it. But if you are booking out that far, then this is important. So this is kind of what the flow looks like. So you're going to confirm the party 2 weeks before. This is new and very exciting. And interestingly enough, a lot of hosts are actually taking advantage of it. Like my first weekend I started doing this, I'm like, Susan, nobody's wanting to talk to me. And then Susan kind of gave me some words and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes more sense. And so my parties that are coming up on the 23rd, I have almost half of them so far committed to a call tomorrow, which is super exciting. So I am a day behind, but that's okay. I understand how to kind of work forward, even if I'm a day behind. So on Tuesday, 7 days before the party, you want to set up a call with your host, and Susan's going to talk with you more about that. On Wednesday, you're going to, and again, these are lightly, you don't have to do them on Tuesday. If you need to do it on Wednesday because your schedule works better that way, it's okay. It's just giving you a high overview of what it's going to look like. So then you're going to invite them to their table party on Wednesday so they can start inviting their friends on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's totally different in the sense of what we would do before: open up a Facebook party, have them click the button, and friends would join. But we all know we're not getting a whole lot of interaction. But what we do know is when we take the time to encourage them to invite via text and Facebook Messenger, our success is absolutely different than just inviting on Facebook. Now, we're not excluding Facebook. We're just putting Facebook on the back burner for a little bit later in the week. So again, you're inviting them to start inviting their friends to table on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then on Friday, you're going to continue to do the host coaching with them. You're going to give them an image to put on their Facebook wall to advertise that you're having this party, and you're going to set up the Facebook party then. Okay, so we're not setting up the Facebook party until Friday. So we want all that pre-work to be table, 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 because we know that the people that join table are the most interested and the most likely to place an order. And that's facts from Pampered Chef. Okay. So we're going to continue to host coach them on Saturday. I actually do, and Susan does as well, a little pre-party fun on Saturday. And then we do some pre-party fun on Sunday. More just engagement, having a good time, playing a few games, getting them to table. You're going to see a lot of push to table, like at least 2 posts a day are all about getting to table. The party's on table. We want you to join table. Here's why you need to join table. If you join table, you get this. So you're going to see a lot of that in the template we're going to show you a little bit later. So then after you've done all of this pre-work, then comes the Facebook party. So we have a Saturday and Sunday pre-party time. And then party day 1 is Monday, party day 2 is Tuesday, party day 3 is Wednesday, and then post party is Thursday. And I actually keep mine open to Friday. Susan keeps hers open over the weekend. It really is at your discretion. There's no cutoff deadline, that type of thing. That's super important for the most part, unless you're dealing with end of the month stuff. So just kind of looking at this table timeline, just give me a quick shout out if that kind of sheds a little bit of light on kind of what the new process looks like. Anybody? I can't see any of you, so you'll have to say, yes, it's helpful to me, or no, it's still confusing, or whatever.
Grace says yes. Serena
Okay.
says yes. Michelle. Someone who's a Zoom user. I don't have a name on that one, but
Okay, good,
yes.
good. And we're going to kind of perfect this and work a little bit harder on it, so it'll be even more definitive, but we just wanted to give you this kind of quick snapshot, high level view of kind of what the process looks like. And again, this does back up to what Stacy recommends through the 7 steps. So that's kind of one piece that we wanted to share with you. So the next thing kind of ties into some of the things we've already covered, and then Susan's going to pick up a little bit from here. So we've already covered the 7 steps. We've already covered the Monday night call. Susan's going to talk a little bit more about host coaching, a little bit more about table and Facebook, and then I'm going to wrap it up with Post My Party and boards. So Susan, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the connecting with your host here in just a second, but one thing I want to point out is that what Lorraine was talking about in the 7 steps, if you're looking for a timeline of what to do every single day, hopefully you guys are looking at the run your parties section. So that is number 4 on the 7 steps. And the run your parties will break it down day by day to tell you what exactly you should be doing. If you walk through, it says 2 weeks prior to your party, Monday prior to your party, Tuesday, and there are hyperlinks to everything in it. So if you need the host coaching messages, there's a hyperlink there. If you need to know how to do it on Consultants Corner, it's there. If you need to know how to do a table party, it's there. Everything is there. After 2.5 years, I still pull this checklist up every single day. Even though I know what I need to do, but you can actually go in here and you can make a copy of it and you can check mark the boxes. I love it. And then the next week I clear out the check marks and I do it again. So that way you can easily see what you've done, what you haven't done. And it makes it really, really easy. Is anybody using that? Does anybody use the run your parties? Okay, I know Lorraine does. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you guys make, Grace had about the copy. So just like any of these, and I just keep an eye on the Monday night call. It doesn't change very often, but every so often, once a month, every other month, I'll take a quick peek and see if anything has changed, but make a copy for yourself and call it, like I just put my initials by the title. And then that way you can check mark it. And if you have something special that you want to make sure that you do on one of those certain days, add it in. Okay. Make it your own. So that is how I like to do it. Now, what Lorraine was saying is let me just give you a background. I have had, Facebook has hit me hard this year. I am getting a lot less people who are seeing the posts. I'm getting a lot less people who are joining. I'm finding that hosts, when they invite, that less than 10% are joining the parties. And these are all things that we kind of expected to come down the pipe with the changes that that Facebook was making in the spring. They said that they were going to kind of deprioritize groups a little bit. So it does make it a little bit more challenging for us. So unless you have someone who's a group that's really, really active, some of these people may not even be seeing the posts. I sent out some of the bonus prize messages yesterday, and I had 3 people message me back saying that was the party over? Well, yeah, it was over a week ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's over. So anyhow, and I have had people join the party 2-3 weeks later, because they've totally missed it. Now, I am really working to connect with your host. Now, some of you, if you've been around for a long time, are familiar with Pampered Chef, or when we used to have like in-home parties, whether it was with Pampered Chef or someone else, one of the big things was connecting with your host. You never would have just been texting them. You never would have just been emailing them without actually having some sort of contact with them before you went to their home. Okay. When you can make a personal contact with them, it actually makes you more real. It shows that you're interested in them, and it gives you a little bit of an idea of them as well. You know, you can gauge their excitement and all of that. Now, I know that getting on the phone sometimes can be a little bit tricky, but I've been setting up time with them. So on Monday, when I check in with them, I say, I'm super excited for your show next week. Do you have some time in the next today or tomorrow that we can take a couple minutes just so I can go over a few details with you of your party? And the reason I'm doing that is because I want them to know the importance of some of the stuff that's going on Facebook, as well as the importance of the personal messages. So here's just some of the bullet points when I get them on the phone. First of all, I just want to make sure you thank them, but ask them about their wish list. All right. Why do you think that we'd want to ask them about the wish list? You guys can chime in here. Let's make this a little interactive.
Because you know how, if you know what's on their list, especially if they're looking for one of the electronics, one of the bigger ticket items,
Yep.
that you can sort of guide them along their way based on the sales that are coming in, you know, and if you can get a booking and then a booking from their show, then they can, you know, if they don't have the 60% off, they could maybe do it in the next party. So when Mary books from their party, they could at least, you know what I mean, try to get something, the bigger ticket items at a higher discount, I guess.
Absolutely. And when they have a ton of stuff on their list, then you can have an idea. Okay, then we want to shoot for an $800, $1,000 show. Or if they have a lot of stuff, say, you know, I know you've got a ton of stuff on here. Have you thought about being a consultant and getting it for free? So there's that in as well. But the other great thing about it is if you have that, then you can say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You are at $300. You just earned an extra half price item to get your air fryer for 50% off or for 60%. You know what I mean? Like when they hit the $200 mark, you can use those to dangle a carrot, okay? And keep them focused on what it is they're looking for. I also ask if they've ever hosted a Pampered Chef party before and let them know that I'm going to really guide them along the way. There may be some things that are different from how they were the consultant that they worked with before. And also if it's online versus in home. So you've got to kind of gauge on where they are. I briefly go over the host rewards with them. I don't go over that in depth because I do send them the digital host pack each month so they can take a look at that. And then I go into table and I'm going to show you guys what I have a little video that I show, but what I typically say to them is, so let's say Lorraine is hosting. I say, Lorraine, okay, so let me ask you, how active are you on Facebook?
Oh, are you like literally?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm usually on once a day, but not very long.
Okay, so perfect, because we're going to be partying in 2 different places this week, and you're going to be so excited because we have what's called Table, which is our premier platform through Pampered Chef. And the benefit of Table is because we've had a lot of changes on Facebook here lately, and it's making things a little bit trickier. So for you that may check it once a day, I'm finding a lot of other people are doing the same. And if you've noticed here lately, there's been a lot of ads on your Facebook. Have you noticed that?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So that's because they're kind of putting more priority on that kind of stuff. So I'm finding that a lot of people are missing the parties altogether, and we don't want that for your friends. So with Table, it's kind of like your private party space. It's an all-in-one stop shop, and your friends can join whether they're on social media or not. They'll get a reminder once a day by email. They're not going to be bothered all day long. And for those that join with their phone number, they'll also get an occasional text just as a reminder. But they'll be able to chit chat, they'll be able to shop, they'll be able to view videos, and they'll be able to have a great time just as well. But they won't miss the party, which is the most important thing. So how does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So with that, from there, I to tell them also that with table as well, and throughout the party, we're also going to have a live demo with Pampered Chef on Tuesday nights, and that really their biggest job is going to be the inviting. And I make it a huge thing about that. Okay. Your biggest job is going to be your guests. I can't do that for you. So, the goal is to have about 20 guests or more in the party. And with that, like I said, on Facebook, we have a lot less, but with table, it's going to take about 50 to 75 personal invites to get that. And I know that sounds like a lot, but you'll be surprised at how many people you have in your phone list. And I find that the personal invite is best because, as I mentioned, they might miss the notifications on Facebook, they might overlook them, or they might not just be checking it at all. It's kind of like the difference between sending somebody a personal invitation through the mail versus just advertising your wedding in the newspaper. You're hoping somebody sees it, right? So that's going to be the big difference. So the other thing I also point out is that they've invited their guests over, and just like if you were going to invite your friends to your house, you wouldn't go hide in the bathroom once they get there. So it's important that they comment and participate in the party as they can, and that I will give them a daily task each day. Just a suggestion. It could be a post, it could be a comment, it could be a game, just something for them to do to help keep it fun and let their friends know that they're there. Let's see here. I do also mention that we will work on getting them. There's an opportunity for them to have their rewards extend longer, after their show is over with that 3-party booking bonus. And I'll tell them a little bit more about that as we go through the party. And then also I have been here recently. It does cost a little bit of money, but I have been sending out a catalog or two to them to about 2 weeks before their party. And I tell them to carry that with them and share it with friends. That serves 2 purposes. One, they can carry it with them and share it, right? But the other thing is that it gets them flipping through it. I don't know about you. I love to flip through and dog ear a catalog. I know we're all like, no, I don't need another piece of paper here. But I'm telling you, there's nothing like flipping through it. And every time you flip through it, you see more and more stuff. So that's kind of exciting. And it also is another way just to get in front of them. And it makes it more of a tangible experience for them. So.
Okay, so Susan,
Yeah.
from start to finish, how long would you say this call is?
It depends how chatty my host is, right? It's usually maybe 5 to 10 minutes. If you get a chatty patty, then, you know, you could be on the phone for 20. It just depends. So give yourself a little bit of time, but let them, I usually tell them, I said, listen, your time is valuable and I don't want to take it up. I just want to see if you have any questions and, you know, let you know just some of what to expect. I'm here for you. I really am, my goal is really to help you get the most out of this party, but also for your friends to have an amazing experience. Okay.
Cool.
So now,
let me ask you another question, Susan. How, because I think this would be helpful for everyone to know, how do you remember to do this? How do you remember to call them?
I just, like I said, I copy my, I made a copy of the everyday thing and I added it on my Monday thing. Or do you mean when I set one up with them?
Yeah, like let's say you said, okay, Lorraine, let's talk tomorrow at 5. Like, how do you remember to do that?
I put it on my calendar with a little
Paper
reminder.
or Google?
Yep. You can put it wherever, you know, if you're a sticky note person and just need to stick it on your phone. If you need to have Siri send you a reminder, then do that. I mean, I've called people while I'm driving.
Yeah.
And talked to them. And I've told them, I said, listen, you know what? I'm honoring your time. Bear with me. I'm driving, so I may be a little scattered. You know, but just be prepared. And that way it makes them feel important as well.
Okay, great.
Okay. So now if, Lorraine, you want to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay. If for some reason they can't, this is an awful look for me. I'm telling you, I hate when you upload things to YouTube and it comes up at like the most awful look. So anyhow, this is a video. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if you guys want me to play it right now or not. It's about 2 minutes. Even if they do talk to me on the phone, but especially if they don't, this kind of goes over the importance of what I just went over. It talks about table. It talks about them personally inviting. It talks about us really partnering together. So what I'm going to do is,
Hey, Susan.
Yeah.
Let's do this because we're shorter on time. It's
Yeah, I'm going to just copy the link for you guys and put it in the chat.
Perfect. That's
That's
exactly
what I was
what
just about to say.
And you know
Okay.
what we might want to do, Susan, in the end is if maybe we can take all of these links, put them into one of our resource documents, and then we'll post it in
Yeah.
our Facebook group. That way they're all in one place.
Yeah. So if you guys want to grab that link I just stuck in there,
Mhm.
and that way, even when you go back to YouTube, you should be able to rewatch it. It's just a couple minutes. It is a little bit scattered, just because I wanted, a lot of times I will script everything. This one, I just made some bullet points because I wanted to make it sound more personal, like I was really just kind of conversing with them. So I do have some ums and some and backtrack a little bit. So however you want to do it works for you. And if you guys decide you want to do something like this, then definitely do it. But either way,
You
I
could do
send
cat
this
food.
to them.
Get her some cat food.
Can you guys
Oh, okay.
press mute, please?
So does anybody now, the only other thing that I want to say is that I have put a big emphasis on table. I give them the table link on Wednesday. In the 7 steps, it doesn't put a big emphasis on table. Okay. I've switched to that because of it. And I'm going to tell you, the hosts, some hosts are going to run with it. All right. And some hosts are going to want to really linger and wait for the Facebook thing. But it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm telling you, I've told you really to have a successful party, invite. All right. But my ones who have taken the bull by the horns, I have had a few $1,000 parties. I think I had 3 in August, and I just had a $2,400 party from one who went with it. And I said something because she wasn't inviting many to Facebook, and she said, "Oh, no, she goes, I'm excited about everybody being on table." She said, "So I'm just going to invite there." And she just did exactly what I told her to. And she sent the reminders and everything was personal. And that's just how it worked. And the great thing about that is when they join table, here's the other benefit. For the last 6 weeks, I personally, and I know other people have had this problem, but on Messenger, I have been blocked to sending 10 messages a day. That's it. Okay. That means if they have not responded to me, if I do a follow-up, that counts as one of my 10. So I've really been between a rock and a hard place with trying to reach out for new business. But when they join table, they have to give their email or their phone number. And now I can text them or I can email them, which has a much, much higher open rate than Messenger.
Yep.
So
And I was
a lot of
actually pretty
benefits
shocked.
there.
I was pretty shocked as to how many people do give their phone number. I was like, there's no way. But I would say more than half do.
I would say I've got about 90 to 95% give their phone number.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great. I mean, I really appreciate you sharing this because this is definitely, in my opinion, the way we are heading. I think it's
Yes.
not, I don't think Facebook is going to get any more polite-er. That's not even a word, but I made it one. It's going to get more rough. So I
Right.
think this is the time to give yourself some grace and just do these couple little things we're suggesting. And then as you get more comfortable, you'll be able to add more things in and you'll understand the flow and it'll make more sense. But
Yeah.
ask questions, because let me tell you, when I first did this, I thought for the first couple of days I was going to pull my hair out. And then I just realized, okay, step back, read everything, take a couple of minutes to do that, ask questions. And I just kept asking questions and asking questions and asking questions, even if they sounded silly. So that's what we're encouraging you guys to do, is to ask us questions, because if we don't know it, we're going to find the answer for you. But 9 times out of 10, we've done it. So we know
Yep.
exactly how to guide you. So don't feel like, oh, Lorraine's too busy or Susan's too busy. We are, but our job is to make time for you. So please ask us. Okay, let's go ahead and move on, just so we can show you a couple more things, and we want to make sure we scoot off here by about the 8:30 time frame. So I know this is kind of small, but I was just trying to get everything on a same spot. So we're going to show you a couple different looks of the template. The template is going to come in 2 different versions every 2 months. I am more focused on doing my parties through boards, and Susan is more focused doing hers through Post My Party. But they're pretty much the same in the sense of when the posts come out, what comes through them, and so on. So in boards, the look is going to be like this. It's going to say September, October template, and then it's going to have your pre-party days. I just listed those as zeros. And then 1, 2, 3 are the party days. 4 and 5 are just those backup days. So then when you click on Saturday, for an example, this is what's going to come out. So what I tried to do this time was do as many posts that you guys won't have to change. But in saying that, it's super important that you do make things personal. So there are several days that you don't need to change a whole lot of anything. And there are a couple of days where you're going to have to make sure that you're slipping in your picture through Canva. So for an example, if you see something like this, like you see the verbiage and then an image, you can see I'm not in there, nor Susan. So you could just use this and you don't have to recreate or do anything different. Same with everything basically on this first day. Nothing needs to be edited. And that's ultimately what I try to do on several days. However, when you see this Facebook watch link, that's your indicator that it's a video that you're going to need to change. Now, in saying that, I will tell you that some of my consultants just use my videos, and that's okay, because there really is nothing personal on them that says, hey, it's Lorraine. But if you wanted to make it personal, then you could just recreate the image or the video, or you could just use what is already sitting there. Most of my videos are not personal, meaning they don't say Lorraine with Pampered Chef on them. They're just me doing a video. So it's completely up to you. There's some people, like in my first year, I just used Stacy's videos throughout. Hers were more personal, meaning that her contact information was on them. So that got a little tricky, but I try to leave mine off for the most part. So this is what the boards will look like. And boards takes about 5 minutes to learn. You do get some of the boards for free. So but then there's also a paid version as well, which I think is like $10 a month and gives you unlimited boards. Then anytime you have to change something, like this link here, you also have access to this spreadsheet. So for an example, this is an example of day 1, and this is kind of hard to look at, but I wanted to just give you a quick snapshot. So let's just focus here on day 1. So on day 1, you'll see here that there are no edits. So there's nothing that you need to do to change any content on these particular posts. On Sunday, there are some. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So like half you need to change, half you don't. You don't have to do 7 posts a day. It's actually a little bit more on the higher side. I just have a little bit of like, oh, I don't want to leave that out. And, oh, I don't want to leave this out. But I will just tell you that you don't have to do this many posts. I make sure that every day there are 2 to 3 table posts that encourage them to join table, why they want to join table, go over to table to get a bonus, or whatever the case may be. And quite a few people do join. So you can see here, this is pre-party Saturday, pre-party Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and there's more content below here. But you can see like on Wednesday, there's nothing there to edit either, but then there's some edits that you may want to make on Tuesday. Whenever you see these blue Canva links, these are all edited links that you can edit. So you'll just click them, slip your picture in, or just use what I have. It's totally up to you. Then Susan uses Post My Party. So most of you are pretty familiar with Post My Party, which is something that most of us use for quite some time. And hers has the same effect. It's just exactly the same. It's just It's in a Post My Party platform. So you can choose, do I want to use boards? Do I want to use Post My Party? So the great thing is we've got both of these offered for you, and you can totally do whichever one you want to use. Okay, so let's switch gears here for the next couple of minutes, and then we're going to wrap up and we're going to talk about some fall booking ideas. So first of all, just to kind of give you some basics, if you're looking just to kind of get your business off the ground again, here are some basic places to go. So in the 7 steps, you want to make sure that throughout your parties, you are always doing the host booking challenge. The host booking challenge comes in on Tuesdays, and usually 30% of my bookings come from the host booking challenge. Another 30% usually come from thank you text, whether you're using Project Broadcast, whether you're just manually texting them the thank you and then the booking ask, whatever it takes or whatever you want to do is fine. You just want to make sure that you're following those 7 steps where you're going to get all the words for the host booking challenge and all the words for the thank you text and the backup booking message. And then another 30% come from those who are on Facebook, who I do the bonus prize giveaway with. So these are just your basics. These are the things that you should be doing every single solitary party, no matter what kind of thing. And if you're saying to yourself, well, gosh, Lauren, I did have a party 3 weeks ago and I didn't send thank you text, or I did a party 4 weeks ago and I never sent the bonus prize giveaway. It's never too late. It really isn't. I mean, host booking challenge, maybe too late for that. But the thank you text, it's never too late to say thank you and then ask them for the booking 2 days later. And honestly, I am working on parties right now from August 6th, I think it is, no, August 5th, because I only can message so many people. So I'm never on time with bonus prize giveaway. And it's not my fault. It's just the the limits that Facebook has set for each person, and it's very individual. Susan can message 10 in one of my Facebooks. I can message 1 a day, and in another Facebook I can message 30. So it's hard to say what is going to be, but it makes me very far behind, just like everybody else. If you're looking for some ideas for bookings outside of your parties, I'm going to send this over to you guys after we're done, and you can just click this picture and this video will play. It's a 20-minute video that Stacy did in the fall to teach on how to get bookings outside of your parties. But I also wanted to share a couple of ideas that were shared on a Monday night call, and then things that I have done over the past couple of weeks that have built up this week to 13 parties. So one thing I did is I posted, and I actually went live on our Facebook page, the Breed Rockstar Facebook page, and we talked about the catalog idea, where we're mailing catalogs to those people who want to actually have a party. Then there's an idea called the map idea that was shared last night on the Monday night call. There's a cupcake idea that I'm going to share, and birthday messages. So if you look at this number 5034, this is what my week is right here. So there's 1 booking missing. I got 5 bookings this week that were booked from the catalog advertisement so far. The booking idea for the map idea just came out yesterday, so I don't have any. The cupcake idea, I got 3, and I have 4 birthday messages, 4 parties that were booked this week that are starting on the 23rd that were birthday messages. So let's go over real quickly just how this all transpires. So I'm not going to go into the hot off the press catalog idea, because I did that live on our group page. And also, if you click this link, there's a video that shows you how to do this whole thing start to finish. But basically what you're going to do, the basics of it, is you're going to post this on your Facebook wall. This is a digital catalog that automatically flips. So it's very not interactive, but very like visually stimulating. They can see that the catalog's flipping. And then you're just going to slip your picture right in here. And then I put this on my Facebook wall. Whenever I do my Facebook wall, I always do @highlights and @followers. Some of you have that feature, some of you don't. Some of you just have @highlights and some just have @followers. I put this in all of my closed parties for the last 90 days. Still getting leads from that. I did a customer connection email. You can put it on your business page. You can put it through Project Broadcast, and you can also send personal messages. I will say that in April timeframe, when all this craziness went down with Facebook, when I did a post like this, I would probably reach about 50 to 60 people easily. Now I can reach about 10. So that's why it takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more continually posting to see the great results that we used to have. Here is the idea from last night. So basically you're putting this image on your Facebook wall. Here are the words. And then in the Monday Night Call document, there are words for the follow-up. So basically you're saying, hey friends, I want to see if I know someone from every state. So friends just chime in. I'm from Colorado, I'm from Maine, I'm from Texas. And then anyone who comments, you're reaching out to them and offering them the opportunity to book a party. And again, all the words are in the Monday Night Call document that Susan put the link in that chat. So that's another Facebook post idea. Would I do these back to back? I would not. Like what I like to do, and this is a tip from one of the directors on our team who has a very big social media following, whenever she's about to put something Pampered Chef wise on her page, a day before, she'll put something that she knows is going to have a lot of traction. And then the next day, she'll put on a Pampered Chef advertisement such as this. So take anything from my page. Actually, I just put something up that has like 75 comments on it. It's something so silly. It's like, what is your secret tip for making the best mashed potatoes? And I think today there's like 76 comments on it. So that's a good time to start putting something Pampered Chef wise, because now that view is in your favor, right? So that is a helpful piece to do. And then here's an example of the cupcake idea. All I did was Susan and I made a video at conference. I put this up there. And if you look at my Facebook page, it'll show you the words. And then I just reached out to them and gave them a discount off the cupcake pan. I think I gave them $25 off the cupcake pan. Ended up booking like 3 or 4 parties so far as a result. You don't have to do that, but it's just an option that, you know, I always look at it like Stacy uses this example very well. She'll say, if you went to Amazon and bought some bookings, how much would you pay for them? And oftentimes when we're on these type of calls, people will say $25, $40, $50. And that's an option that you certainly can do if you want to invest a little bit in your business. And just giving them a nice discount off the cupcake pan can be an option. So that's another way to get some bookings. And then you guys have heard this a bajillion times, I'm sure. And that is the birthday messages. And I know that some of you don't like them, but I have 4 parties this week that are birthday messages, and I think 3 from last week. So if you're not making the attempt to do these birthday messages, you are missing many, many parties. I would say probably about 5 or more per month you're missing. And again, you get a lot of people that don't respond. That's okay. You just do the follow-up messages, and the birthday messages are in the Monday Night Call. So unfortunately, this image, for whatever reason, did not show up, but I wanted to give you a little link on how to get there, but I can't see it now. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go onto your Facebook main page, and then on the left-hand side, it's going to say friends. You're going to click the friends button. And then the next thing it's going to say is birthdays, and you're going to click the birthdays. And then it's going to show you everyone who has a birthday now, in the past, or current. And then you just send them a message. Like this lady right here, Nikki, she just booked a party for this Monday, 9/23. She's going to start on Monday. Kali is actually a consultant, and this is also a great indicator that she's raising money for her birthday. So why not offer her an opportunity either to do a party, and if she says no to that, then offer to do a fundraiser that supports her fundraiser that she's running for her birthday. So that's kind of a cool thing, because not only are you offering them the option to have a birthday party, but then if they say no, you can say, well, hey, I also noticed that you had the fundraiser information up there for your birthday. What do you think about doing a fundraiser to add to the funds that you're trying to raise for, you know, this particular charity? So these work like a champion. You just got to do them. I have a reminder on my calendar every 15th of the month. So when the 15th of the month hit this month, I'm doing birthday messages for October and so on. So just whatever works for you, do it. But let me just tell you, these work and you got to try them. All right, we're going to wrap up with some recognition. And this is some recognition from our sales for last month. And so I want to take a moment to recognize Susan Williams. She sold $1,590 in sales. Michelle Lacombe sold $1,007 and Serena sold $362. So congratulations, and keep your sights highly focused on the next 90 days, because truly there are going to be some spectacular specials. We were just on a call today, and there are some spectacular specials we cannot share with you until Paper Chef allows, until Paper Chef releases them to the field, which I think is tomorrow. But there are some really, really good ones that are coming up. So this is the time to just bite the bullet, make all your calls or make all your connections, and just make it happen, because this is when people are going to book for sure. And then we had additional three active consultants, Tiffany, Autumn, and Janice. And then 2 new consultants joined our team. Tina Olton was signed by myself, and then Becky Jarbo was signed by myself as well. So congratulations, and I look forward to recognizing more of you next month. So Susan, you are up. Are you here, Susan? Uh-oh. I hope you guys are here with me.
I'm muted. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go back.
I'm like, no. Yeah, hold on. I got to put back in present mode. Here we go.
I'm like talking away and
Okay.
okay. So anyhow, we had a great month in August. A lot of you guys took the bull by the horns with fundraisers. So Suzanne Bowman, she actually ended up doing a fundraiser for her church that was $2,600. That is one party. So she was super excited about that. Crystal is a new consultant, and she reached her $1,500 mark last month off of her first few shows. And if you take a peek over towards the right-hand side, you'll see she actually signed her first consultant. Lisa. So Lisa got started with us last month. Michelle Webb, she also did a fundraiser. And Michelle, get me, this is the second time you did one for this group, right? Or was this, yes.
Yeah, I booked it through my husband so he would get credit, and it didn't look like it was coming from me. But this is the second fundraiser I did for the Community Free Clinic in the month of August. That's how I started last November. It was like August, October,
Yeah.
November.
Mhm.
And you're like, hey, do you want to give Paper Chef a try again? And surely enough, and then I had another friend, when I listened to something from the convention and somebody says, I just ask people. So I just created this, hey, I know you're very passionate about X. Would you
Yeah.
like to host a fundraiser? I got one to take it. So one was awesome.
It's a super easy way for them to earn money, whether it's $50 or $500. You know, it's a great way for them to earn money. And Michelle is one who's really been focused on table as well. So she's been doing great with that. So Tiffany just got restarted, and she did a fundraiser as well for Operation, it was like the Operation Christmas Child for one of the churches. And Lisa had her first show, which was $300. So way to go, team. We really came out of the gate last month. And Michelle signed her first consultant last month too, Melissa. So very exciting month for us. And I just want to point out really quickly, Lorraine said about the announcements coming, keep an eye on your email tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow they are making some big announcements that you will be super excited about and that you are going to be wanting to share. We've got a big anniversary next month. October is Pampered Chef anniversary, 44 years in business. And people love a company that has been with us for a long time. So anyhow, keep an eye out. And I can't wait to see some of the chitter chatter in our team chat. So anything else, Lorraine?
I think that's it. I just want to thank you guys for carving out the time, and I cannot believe it, Susan. It's 8:30 on the dot. We did
I
it.
know.
So we're going to put together, we'll put this PowerPoint in a document, and then all the links we'll put in the document, and we'll put it on our team page and tag everyone. So that way you guys will have all the links that are necessary for your business. And the last thing I'll just share with you is This is, this is kind of a dump of information. And what I would highly, highly suggest is reaching out to Susan or myself, whoever your director is, reach out to us and ask us, to set up a 30-minute phone call so we can help you digest and help you, filter through this. What I have found is that those people that have those weekly connections with me are always consistently more successful, because otherwise you're kind of on an island by yourself, and that's no fun, and it's really not how the best way to run your business. So we encourage you to reach out to us. We're here to help you and help you have, the best success possible. And it's much easier to do this as a group than individually. So again, thank you for your time, and we will get this document together for you, and we will see you again next month.
Thanks,
so much,
guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.